Hey everybody, I'm Bob Murdock and welcome to the Evolve Fireside Chat. Today with me is Rich Johnson. He is our marketing director, photographer, brain, genius. Anything I'm missing here?
No, I think that's pretty good. I think that's that's enough. That's enough of that. Yeah.
Yeah. All these marketing campaigns that Evolve puts on, you are the brainchild behind all of those, aren't you?
It's a collaboration of pulling in the expertise that you guys provide and turning that into something that can be public facing and try to show people our industry in a way that isn't normally seen. So typically it's a box. You know, if you break down what we do and you oversimplify it, we rent gear in boxes.
Right.
Well, that's not sexy.
No.
So being an outsider who has a background in film and video, just not in live events or broadcast, coming in and looking at it from that point of view and saying, well, how do we turn this gear into something bigger or more than just, how do we show what this box does?
Yeah.
And, I've been here almost 7 years, and the focus from Evolve has always been, well, let's not necessarily tell the story of the box. Let's tell the story of the people using those boxes and that gear, and let's showcase that as the forefront, which is really where marketing misses, is when they try to focus on the technical aspects. My approach is typically like a headache medicine. You watch a commercial for a headache medicine, it says, oh, you have a migraine? Well, here's a pill, right? What they don't do is they don't go into this 30-minute explanation behind the chemistry of the pill, why this pill is different, all this stuff. It just says, we will work within this amount of time, we'll solve your problem, and then you go back to your normal life. And that's the approach that we try to take with the technicians, is we have gear that's QC'd, checked every single time.
Right.
And when you get our gear, we rent peace of mind. And shockingly, and I say this because some clients, they say they want to simplify things and they say they want to sell this stuff or sell their product a specific way, they tend to lie about it. And with Evolve, it's not a lie. The company makes my job very easy, because when we say every detail every time, as a marketer, I can ethically say, no, they do it. They legitimately do it every single time. If I go back there and grab a piece of gear to just photograph and I break that seal, someone has to QC that, and I create more work for someone else. So it makes me happy, because I'm not lying to people for the content that we put out.
That's great. So something you just said just really, really perked my interest, and I want to hear some others. You said we rent peace of mind.
Yeah.
What are some other, that's such a tagline, and that is so perfect about Evolve and what we do. What are some of the other things that just jump out at you?
Yeah, so we rent peace of mind came up because one of the first shows that I went out and photographed for Evolve to gather content, a technician was on set and he saw the Evolve logo come in. He didn't know who I was. It wasn't like staged, but he was like, oh, thank God, when he saw the Evolve sticker.
Yeah. And
these guys sit in there and they go through rehearsals for hours. They're told it's going to break at this time and then it doesn't. I've from an outsider looking in, it's like, the CEO's out there like, one more time. It's like 2 a.m. and they're like, when's call time? I'm going to get a 4. The rent peace of mind came from that, because these technicians are like, okay, great. I don't have to spend time troubleshooting gear, because it came back from another show where presets it wasn't factory reset. Right. So all the gear is factory reset. Everything's QC'd. It's as close to like new as possible. So we do every detail every time, live assurance, we rent assurance, and really it's that trifecta that really ties that all together, which is the rent, the buy, and the learn. Because naturally that all just kind of, training the technicians so that they can use the gear properly and in a way that when we send it out, it makes the show go off without a hitch. Because, the previous Fireside Chat, you guys were talking about LED and how that's taking over. And there's one single LED panel has, from what I'm told, because I'm not an expert, but 40,000 potential points of failure. Every single pixel. Almost. Pretty close. That's a lot times, thousands of tiles wide and tall, and then, you could have a problem.
Yeah.
So, and we go through and make sure every single pixel is good to go when we ship it out. So,
I remember years ago when you first came to work here, you went out to your first show and you saw it. You came back and you described it as a nomad village.
yeah.
Can you tell me what you meant by that?
So, what's crazy is, so my first show was at UCF for you guys. I went out, brought my equipment, and it's set up in a spot that's not normally designed, especially this gig wasn't designed for shows, right? It was a stadium, but the spots where you guys set up were just random spots in the hallways, on different floors, because it was a complete projection wraparound. So you guys come in, they set up, it's like an army, everything's organized, it's orchestrated chaos, right? So they're lifting, they're raising truss, they're bringing it up, people are bringing in their stuff, you guys are bringing in projection, it's going up. They spend days setting this up, and then the CEO comes out on stage for 30 minutes, an hour, says thank you for coming to our conference, and then you guys break it down, right? So like the best description I came up with on what this industry does is you guys create sandcastles. So you're creating these awesome sculptures that you spend 4 or 5 days building for a CEO to come out for an hour, give all these guests the time of their lives, and then that's a wrap, start breaking it down, and you guys just, and then everyone goes to their next spot. So they're all like these little nomad things that go out. But as the outsider, my first project that I did for Evolve, I did a photo shoot of a new laser projector that we were getting, because at the time we were all bulb based or lamp based is what you guys call it. So I take these, I spent hours taking photos of this projector and getting the lighting perfect, making sure the reflections are great. And then I go and I show Tyler, and I go, what do you think? And he goes, wow, that's a really nice photo. Are you going to do one with the lens in it? And I was like, there's lenses on these things? And so for me, it was like, why did you hire me to do this? And he wanted something different. He wanted someone from outside the industry that can look at these things and go, oh, here it is. And now it's like, okay, there's a lens on this. Yeah. Before that, any exposure I've ever had to a projector before that moment, the lenses were built in. Lenses are built into projectors outside of our world now. So anyway, that was my introduction into the industry for this. So
last thing.
Yeah.
Anything upcoming that you can give us a peek at?
So we, after, right before COVID, the pandemic, we had a very solid plan set in place that we started to really hone in and find our groove when it came to marketing. And then the pandemic hit, and the entire industry obviously went into survival mode. And we started doing things that business had to do to stay afloat. And now that's, our industry's in full upswing right now, and we're able to take a step back and say, let's get back to our roots and our foundations and the 3 pillars that we provide to our clients, that we can confidently say that we can do these without an issue, which is we rent high quality, top of the line gear. We sell high quality, top of the line gear without having to have the middleman or wait for equipment to come in. And we also teach and educate on that gear and train the next generation of technicians. That's the future of Evolve, is getting back to our roots of what really made us a viable partner and a growth partner for our clients. Because some of our clients started off as just a lighting company who did their job so well that the client was like, man, I wish you did video. I wish you did this as well. And that's a risk, because now when they take on that video portion of it, they're now, if they mess that up, they're also messing up what they had a good
Right.
thing going, right? And plus the cost, the startup cost of getting all that gear is a lot. So what we can confidently do is come in and say, hey, white label our expertise, use our inventory, rent it, impress that client, and then start to grow. And then if you want to buy that gear, we'll sell you that gear and then also train your technicians at your facility to run that gear without a problem. So that's the future of marketing for Evolve, is doubling down on technicians, new training, more public-facing training videos, more snackable content for technicians, and then also celebrating and having fun with our industry and really doubling down on the life of live and the technicians. So,
That's great. That's great. So if you have any questions about renting for peace of mind or sandcastles or anything else for Rich, you can email us at solutions@evolvetechnology.live. Thanks for joining us.